Hello, thanks for tuning in. Found an interesting video. We've got a theist here who's claiming that he's got incontrovertible evidence for the existence of God. Let's have a listen to it and we'll see whether he convinces us that there is in fact a God. Let's go. Just to say, I'm not going to play the beginning of the video. Let me just quickly summarize what he started off with. He's saying that he's got scientific evidence that there's a harbor seal which has got thousands and thousands of receptors in its whiskers, such that it can sense a fish in the sea 35 seconds after it's left. It can actually sense where that fish was. And he's saying this is a marvel, this is a miracle, etc. And it's something that human beings can't do. So let's just go with him from that point.
Jump into the water and chase after the fish because you don't possess those receptors. Now, I know some of you are like, what are you, like you're an idiot comparing apples to oranges, humans to seals. But let's think about something for a second. I'm going to jump to your side of the fence, and we're going to come from a biological angle, from the evolutionary tree, and we're just going to jump to that side and just be, all rational about this, right? So
I actually thought when I was listening to this that he was going to go for intelligent design, and there must be a God because there couldn't be this diversity of life, and with such complicated life forms that can do such amazing things. But actually, that's not where he's going.
You're an animal, and the seal is an animal, and we've kind of developed. And you're like, well, we might not be in the same exact brand. Yeah, but the point being is that animals or humans all don't develop equally and all don't have the same capacities or abilities, now do they? You see, not every human grasped the same intellectual concepts. So we know there is some sensation there or some ideas there, or some kind of power there that some humans have that others do not. We also know that humans don't have the same emotional quotients. They don't grasp the same feelings of others and the same vibes of others, etc. We also know that human beings don't have the same micro transmitters or whatever in their hand. I don't know what controls the micro functions of the hand, but your music and extreme artist performance, who are the world's greatest, they have more control of their hands than the average person. This is noted in the watchmaker as well. Or the gamer, the first-person shooter gamer that's the best in the world, he's going to have more neurons in his hands. And if that's not enough for you, what about the taste buds? There are some people that are super tasters, that's about 25% of the culture, that they have sensors that the rest
Okay, so people are not born with equal abilities. So what?
of us don't have that are superior. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Are there God sensors? Now, see, right now, when I told you about that testability portion of whether God exists or not, some of you have had the God sensors go off. Yeah. You've experienced that twinge that, oh, this guy is right. But let's turn that off. It's not that God doesn't exist or that your sensors aren't working. These nano sensors, these micro sensors that scream and give you some realization that God does exist, we have been ignoring those. So I've offered you the scientific proof that not all human beings or mammals are the same, that some sense things that others do not. And so this should kind of take us down the path of wondering, like, if I'm not sensing God, but 80% of the world is sensing that there is some sort of God, maybe I should logically think about this more. And here's what I challenge you with. If you will be 100% honest with yourself, and you will be 100% rational and put your bias on the back burner, and that's hard to do. It is hard to set the pride aside and just be intellectual about something. But if you'll be 100% honest and you'll be 100% rational, it will only take you to one place, and it is the truth that Jesus Christ has revealed himself.
Okay, I think I can stop it there and just comment on what he's said. Yeah, so the big problem I've got with his hypothesis that these 80% of people have got God sensors, and they're using these God sensors. He seems to be claiming possibly that we've all got these God sensors, the ability to sense that there is a God. And he's claiming that there are people, apparently he believes that 80% of the world population have sensed that there is a God and that they've got these God receptors. How does he know that they've got God receptors, and how does he know that what they're sensing is an actual God? How has he ruled out that people who believe in a God and say that they've sensed a God are simply going on intuition, and that intuition might be wrong? And he talks about, and that could apply to everybody who's ever said that they sense a God. That could well apply to to those people who believe in God and claim that they sense a God. Of course, not everybody who believes in a God claim that they sense a God. People have got different reasons for their belief in a God. So it wouldn't be 80%, but even if it was 80%, how could you possibly test? Because he talks about testability. And he didn't really say how this can be tested. All you can do is ask people, do you believe in God? Yes. Why do you believe in God? Have you ever sensed a God? Well, actually, yes, I have. How do you know that you've sensed a God? I can't really demonstrate it. It just seems to me that there's a God there, that I kind of feel it. Well, describe that feeling. Now, that's not scientific, is it? You can't really confirm that anybody's got God sensors, or that anybody has ever sensed a God, or of course that there even is a God. But we can prove that the harbour seal, as he gave as an example, and I suppose the analog would be that a harbour seal can do this amazing thing of sensing a fish that was there 35 seconds ago from some distance. And the analog for that is that people have got this ability to sense that there is a God, but a certain number of us are somehow denying it when we've got this capability, but we're denying it because we're too proud, or we're too stubborn, or for some other reason. So we can test that seals have got this capability and that they're actually sensing a fish. Yeah, we can put a fish into a large tank. We can put a hungry seal somewhere. We can have the fish swim away and the seal will go to where that fish was. We can make an experiment to test for that. What we can't seem to be able to do is to test his hypothesis that there is such a thing as a God receptor or God sensor, and that anybody has ever sensed a real God ever. We can't test for that, despite his claim that we can. So no. And he's not only he went from God and he suddenly took a jump to Christianity, to Jesus. That it's not only that we've got God sensors, but we're sensing actually Jesus. Well, no, because Muslims will say that they're sensing Allah, not Jesus. So yeah, so the big problem with this hypothesis is it can't be tested. It just remains a claim, and I don't find it convincing at all. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Bye for now.